My doctor said I'd be dead in 5 years if I didn't change my ways, and those words still echo in my mind. I was sitting in his office, feeling like I'd been punched in the gut, and all I could think was, how did it come to this? The doctor's words were like a cold splash of water, waking me up to the reality of my own mortality. I'm Walter, 78 years old, and I've learned a thing or two about life, but this story, it's about the one lesson that changed everything for me. It's about the day I realized that I had been living my life all wrong, and it's a lesson that I hope you'll take to heart. It was the summer of 1965, and I was living in a small town in Ohio, working at the local hardware store. I was 22 years old, and I thought I had my whole life figured out. I was engaged to my high school sweetheart, Emily, and we were planning to get married in the fall. But then, something happened that changed everything. Emily's father got sick, and she had to move to the city to take care of him. I was heartbroken, but I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of gave up. I stopped writing her letters, stopped calling her, and just threw myself into my work. But here is what I never told anyone. I was so consumed by my own pain that I didn't even notice when Emily's letters stopped coming. I just assumed she had moved on with her life, and that was that. It wasn't until years later, when I ran into her at a high school reunion, that I realized the truth. She had been waiting for me to come to my senses and fight for our relationship. But by then, it was too late, and I was left with a regret that would haunt me for the rest of my life. As I look back on that time, I realized that I was so focused on my own problems that I didn't even consider Emily's perspective. I was stuck in my own world, and I didn't know how to get out. But then, something shifted inside of me. I started to see that my actions, or rather, my lack of action, had consequences. I had let my fear and my pride get in the way of what truly mattered, and that was a hard pill to swallow. But here is what I learned, the hard way, that life is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking action, even when it's hard. It's about being brave enough to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to face your fears head on. And that's the lesson that my doctor's words taught me, that it's never too late to make a change, to take control of your life, and to start living the life you truly want. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with my doctor's words? Well, it's like this. When my doctor told me I'd be dead in 5 years if I didn't change my ways, it was like a wake-up call. It made me realize that I had been given a second chance, a chance to make things right, to take control of my life, and to start living the life I truly wanted. And that's exactly what I did. I started taking care of myself. I started reconnecting with old friends, and I started pursuing my passions. But here is what I never told anyone. It wasn't easy. There were times when I felt like giving up, times when I felt like I was too old, too tired, or too broken to make a change. But I didn't give up, and that's the key. I kept pushing forward, even when it felt like the whole world was against me. And that's the lesson that I hope you'll take away from my story, that it's never too late to make a change, to take control of your life, and to start living the life you truly want. And now, I can finally answer the question that's been haunting me all these years. What would have happened if I had taken action? If I had fought for my relationship with Emily? I'll never know for sure, but what I do know is that I've been given a second chance, a chance to live the life I truly want, and to make the most of the time I have left. So, if you want to hear more stories like this, and learn from my experiences, be sure to subscribe to my channel. As I sit here, reflecting on my journey, I'm reminded of the people who have supported me along the way. My family, my friends, they've all been instrumental in helping me navigate the darkest of times. And I've come to realize that it's not just about me, it's about the impact I can have on those around me. The way I choose to live my life, the stories I share, the lessons I've learned, they all have the power to inspire and uplift others. I think back to the moments when I felt like giving up, when the pain and the fear seemed too much to bear. But it was in those moments that I discovered a strength within myself that I never knew I had. A strength that allowed me to keep going, to keep pushing forward, even when it felt like the whole world was against me. And it's that same strength that I want to pass on to others, to remind them that they too can overcome anything, no matter how daunting it may seem. I've learned that life is precious, that every moment counts, and that we should never take anything for granted. I've learned to appreciate the little things, to cherish the time I have with loved ones, and to make the most of every opportunity. And I've learned that it's never too late to make a change, to pursue a dream, or to take a risk. Because in the end, it's not about the years we live, but about the life we live in those years. As I look to the future, I'm excited to see what's in store. I'm excited to continue sharing my story, to connect with others, and to inspire those who may be going through their own struggles. I'm excited to live life to the fullest, to take on new challenges, and to make a difference in the world. And I'm excited to have you all along for the ride, to have your support and encouragement as I continue on this journey. I want to leave you with a message of hope, a reminder that no matter what you're going through, you are not alone. There are people who care, who want to help, and who want to support you. And I want to remind you that you have the power to create the life you want, to make your dreams a reality, and to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. So don't give up, don't lose faith, and don't lose sight of your goals. Keep pushing forward, keep striving for greatness, and know that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. As I close this chapter and begin a new one, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of my journey. Your support, your comments, and your messages have meant the world to me, and I'm grateful for the community we've built together. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and I'm honored to have you all by my side as we continue on this journey together. So let's make the most of the time we have. Let's live life to the fullest, and let's make a difference in the world, one story at a time. As I look back on the path that has brought us to this moment, I'm reminded of the countless individuals who have shared their own stories, struggles, and triumphs with us. Each one has left an indelible mark on my heart, and I'm grateful for the trust they've placed in me to share their experiences with the world. From the young girl who found the courage to speak out against bullying, to the retired teacher who's dedicated her life to helping underprivileged children, every single one of these stories has taught me something profound about the human spirit. I think about the mother who lost her child to a devastating illness, yet still manages to find the strength to advocate for others who are going through similar struggles. I think about the entrepreneur who poured his heart and soul into a business, only to face setbacks and failures, but still refused to give up on his dreams. And I think about the countless volunteers who selflessly dedicate their time and energy to helping those in need, often without seeking recognition or reward. These stories, and many more like them, have shown me that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. They've taught me that resilience, compassion, and kindness can overcome even the most daunting challenges. And they've reminded me that we are all connected, that our individual struggles and triumphs are part of a larger tapestry that binds us together as a community. As we move forward on this journey together, I want to encourage you to keep sharing your stories, to keep pushing boundaries, and to keep believing in the power of your own voice. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to take risks, and to challenge the status quo. Because it's precisely this kind of courage and creativity that will help us build a brighter, more compassionate world. I also want to acknowledge that the journey ahead won't always be easy. There will be times when we'll face setbacks, criticisms, and doubts. But I want you to know that you're not alone. We're in this together, as a community, and we'll support and uplift each other every step of the way. We'll celebrate our successes, we'll learn from our failures, and we'll keep moving forward together. As I look to the future, I'm filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. I know that there are countless stories still waiting to be told, and I'm eager to hear them. I'm eager to learn from them, to grow with them, and to be inspired by them. And I know that together, we can create a world that is more just, more equitable, and more compassionate. So let's keep telling our stories. Let's keep sharing our experiences. And let's keep inspiring each other to be the best versions of ourselves. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness, empathy, and understanding that will spread far and wide, touching hearts and minds in ways we can't even imagine. And let's remember, every step of the way, that we are all in this together, as a community, as a family, and as a testament to the transformative power of the human spirit.